Good evening and greetings from the Bradenton Area Convention Center. I'm Nate March, and we have one more match for you today. Two matches about to get underway here inside the Convention Center for the FCS AA Tournament. On our court, we have Polk State College at 22-8 now coming in, or 22-7 rather, coming into this match, and Daytona State at 17-10. Both teams 1-1 on the tournament. Polk State coming off an emotional 5-set victory over Palm Beach. Daytona also had a very hard-fought 5-set game earlier today. They dropped it against Miami-Dade. Miami-Dade and Santa Fe have advanced to tomorrow's championship round. The winners of the two matches about to start here will advance to the consolation finals and compete for the final spot left up for grabs for a spot in the national tournament out of this weekend's competitors. The two losers in this round, they will head home. So again, we have Polk State and Daytona State on our court. On the other court, College of Central Florida is facing St. Petersburg College. Polk State, based in Winter Haven, the Eagles under Armand Del Valle in his fourth season. He took the school to its first national tournament in 2014 and sixth in the country last year at Nationals. Polk State coming off one of their finest seasons imaginable last year. This year, it's been a little more up and down, some high highs, certainly. 6-3 against the teams competing in the tournament this weekend during the regular season, but a loss in 4 sets against College of Central Florida yesterday. No pomp and circumstance before this round. Teams have hit the court, and we are ready to go. Nearest us in the black, it's Polk State, and at the far end, Daytona State in the gray. So again, winners of the matches in this round will play tomorrow in the consolation finals for third place. Miami-Dade and Santa Fe have already advanced to the national tournament by virtue of advancing to the championship game. So ready to serve for Daytona State is Haley Delegati. Delegati puts it in play, and we are underway. Right away, a setback. It has to be just pushed over, sort of a desperation play by Polk after a miss hit. Here comes an attack from the near side left, and unable to square it up is Yu Wu. Now, Wu, the leading attacker on this Polk State squad. She was on the all-tournament team at Nationals last year. Delegati serves again, 1-0 lead for Daytona State. Along the front line, the attack comes and is immediately blocked back down. Annalise Fitzy tried the attack there and was blocked by Daytona State. And so it is 2-0. The Falcons out to an early lead, and Delegati ready to serve again. Delegati right-handed serve and mishit by the libero of Polk State. Keisha Santana unable to handle the serve, and ace makes it 3-0 Daytona State. Delegati with a strong set of service to begin here. The libero Santana makes the initial hit, and here's an attack from the middle of the floor, and Daytona State gets their libero in on the action, and a big kill from the right side. And Daytona State is rolling out of the gate. Haley Delegati to go again. Leading 4-0. The Falcons get a knuckler of a serve toward the back line. Here's Wu. Hits it over the front line. Rios, the libero, plays it up. There's an attack off a pair of blockers. And once again, Daytona State is able to score. It's 5-0. Delegati with a very impressive run of service here. And a timeout called in the early going by Polk State. In the earlier match between Daytona State and Miami-Dade, Tanya Kaki and Madison Rogers each played very well, particularly Rogers played very strong for large portions of that match. as Daytona State went the distance before falling to Miami-Dade. Miami-Dade played a very strong fifth set in that match after Daytona State had a big rally to take game 4 and force the fifth set. Timeout comes to a near conclusion as both teams head back out onto the floor. Both teams with their liberos still out there. Keisha Santana on the floor for Polk State. Served across, bumped up into the air by Garcia. And Wu with the attack and is able to snipe that back right corner to finally get Polk State on the board. And Wu will serve first for the Eagles. 5-1 the score. Wu from the right corner. Hops into her serve. Delegati gets the first touch on it. And here's the attack from left to right. It is bounced around. Wu sets it up that time, serving as the setter. That attack is preserved. Chased all the way to the back line. Just has to be knocked back over by the Falcons. This is set back and a big-time hit with the kill for Polk State, Annalise Fitzy. So consecutive points for the Eagles. 5-2 the score, and here is Wu with her second serve. Sends it into the middle of the floor. Delegati gets the first touch on it. There's the set. Rogers comes with the attack. It's blocked back, and Polk has some momentum now. 5-3, Daytona State in front, and Polk State continues to serve. These teams split their head-to-head meetings this year, but they were way back in August and in September. Wu serves again from right to left. Delegati hits it first. Knocked across. The attack comes from the left side, knocked toward the back line. Delegati with some good defense on that one. Bumped across by Daytona State. Here comes the attack again on the left side. And now Wu in the middle of the floor has her attack blocked. Kept alive, tipped over the top by Fitzy. Pushed on over. And there's an effective dump. A well-done attack by Kaylee Gartino. And that is 4 points in a row for Polk State. 5-4 the score in set number 1. Wu hops in, serves right to left. She has hit everything in the direction of Delegati. The hit by Rogers is enough to get a point back on the board and win service back for Daytona State. Madison Rogers along that far right edge. Here's the serve by the libero Rios. And that is pushed up for Fitzy. Delegati. Well, there's a set toward Rogers again. She goes right to left with the attack. Now Wu from the middle of the floor puts topspin on it. The libero Rios able to keep it alive. Delegati shoves it over. Santana makes a play on it. Punched over the net by Gartino. Now into the middle of the floor and smashed down by Kottke. 7-4. Daytona State with a 3-point lead in set number 1. Urelis Rios serving. Santana bumps it up into the air. Wu comes hard with the attack. Batted around now. Rogers able to knock it off of a Polk State player out of bounds. 8-4. So far, Daytona State doubling up Polk State in the early going. Rios, not much rotation on that serve. The initial hit goes over. Wu bats it back across with her fist. Here comes Kottke on the attack and slams it off Santana. 9-4 Daytona State. That 4-0 run by Polk State has been answered now effectively. Here comes the attack. It is in. It is in. The initial raise of the flag looked like it was going to be signaled out. And then a point downward. That attack was in for Polk State. 9-5 the score. And Santana will serve. The diminutive libero knocks the ball across. Set up in the middle of the floor. Kottke hits it long. 9-6 the score. Again, Polk State is at the near end of the floor, Daytona State far end. 9-6 Daytona leading. Served across by the libero. Delegati comes up for the initial bump. Here's the setup in the middle of the floor, and Kottke with the kill. Knocked it down in front of Wu. (10-6), and Kottke will serve now for Daytona State. They have the lead. She springs into her serve. Wu drops down to dig it up. Wu is set up for the hit. Powers it with her right hand. Played into the middle of the floor by Rios, and Rogers gets the attack, and it is down in front of Santana. A valiant effort, but Madison Rogers collects the kill, and it is 11-6. Here's Kottke again. Into the middle of the floor. Wu with the first hit. It carries all the way over. It is pushed back, knocked high into the air. Santana around the net. Now just pushed across. Bumped back, and a little bit of a mistime on the jump there on the attack by Daytona State. Here's a battle at the net, and it is won by Polk State. Side out, it is 11-7. Daytona State leading, but service comes back here to the near end. Christina Castillo to serve. Castillo from the middle of the floor. Delegati gets the first hit on it. Here's Rogers on the attack. Wide, right to left. (11-8). Daytona State still in front. Daytona State really backing up the defense, leaving front left side virtually unguarded. And here's Kottke on the attack. And a violation at the expense of Daytona State brings Polk State within 2 at 11-9. Castillo to serve again. Springs into her serve and serves it long, well long, by a good 3 or 4 feet. It is 12-9 Daytona State in this first set of an elimination match at the Bradenton Area Convention Center. Here's the serve from the middle of the floor. Set into the middle, pushed up by Rios. DeStefano gets the set. This is going to be hard to get back across, and it is just barely managed. Well done by Polk State, but ultimately it comes back over to the right side and is hammered home. It was just a mad scramble by Polk State defensively there, and Kyra Ross winds up with a relatively easy kill off of it. 13-9 Daytona State. Here's the serve from left to right, and that is a service error. Too long. 13-10 the score. Polk State has service, and they are trailing. Garcia to serve. Garcia high toss, leading her into her serve. Lots of topspin, batted right up into the air by Rios. Here comes the attack from the right side. And it looks like a net violation there. So 14-10. Daytona State takes back the serve. Lofted high and short. This is set back, punched over the top. Back to this side for Kottke. Blocked up into the air by Garcia. Another attack from along the right side. And Daytona State is still leading in this one, but Polk State off of that rotation winds up with service back down 4, and the server will be Nicole Boots. Boots, a very strong defensive player. She sends her serve into the middle of the floor. Dump across by DeStefano. Here is Wu, evades the blockers and pounds it into the far right corner. and brings Polk State back within 3. (14-11) the score. Boot springs into her serve. DeStefano with a soft setup. Rogers comes on the attack and puts enough juice on it to collect the kill for Daytona State. 15-11. DeStefano serving. Wu winds up with a hit on it. Blocked at the net. Wu again. And again blocked. Wu just has to parry it up into the air. Batted from the middle of the floor. Played along the back line. Rios serves as the setter here. Kaki with the attack. And here's Wu again on the left side. Gets it over the front line this time. A fine set there. Punched from the back line and down for the kill. And that was Rogers coming from the back line middle. 16-11. There's the serve by DeStefano. Set right in the middle. Here comes Wu with power, but Rios is there defensively for it. DeStefano pushes it across, and here's a mad scramble. Wu just has to drill it. She is able to get it over. Kaki set up for the attack, and then she winds up turning into the defender on the play. Here is Rogers again, playing up into the air by DeStefano, off the top of the net and down onto the Polk State side. Daytona State playing very, very well in this first set, and they've opened up a 17-11 lead as Polk State heads into a timeout on the floor. Daytona State rolled out of the gate here in the first set, getting a strong run of service by Haley Delegati. And Daytona has not allowed Polk to get all the way back, and now the lead has swelled back to a half dozen. Polk State, again, last season, played in the championship round of this tournament, falling to Hillsboro on the final day for the Florida Championship, and then went out to Wyoming and finished 6th in the entire nation. Polk State trying to get back to the national tournament, but needs to win this match, and then would have to win again tomorrow against either Central Florida or St. Petersburg. Daytona State back out on the floor. Coach Del Valle taking full advantage of every second of the timeout for Polk State. And I mean every second, as time has elapsed on it. And Daytona State still the only team actually on the floor. The ball put back into play. DeStefano serves. A sinker into the middle of the floor. A fine setback and blocked immediately. Here comes an attack from the middle of the floor. Daytona State's defense has been on point. Kaki once again attacking left to right this time. Back into the middle of the floor. Hit across from there. Rios turns into the setter on this play. That is well struck, but Santana, the libero, well positioned on defense. And that attack mishandled along the back line, and the kill goes to Kathia Garcia. 17-12 as Polk State takes the ball back. Aurora Alderman ready to serve. She knocks it to the back line. Set up in the middle. Here's Kaki, and she snipes the back left corner. Put a lot of juice on that hit for the kill. 18-12 is the score. Daytona State sides out. A leaping serve. Wu wound up playing it ahead of Santana. A diving play by the libero Rios. A scramble around toward the net. Someone was into the net there, and it was Polk State. There were players on each side right around that desperation hit as it was right around the net. It was tough to see who ran into it. As it is, it's a 7-point lead now for Daytona State. Serve played high into the air, and the block attempt unsuccessful, and winding up with the kill is Annalise Fitzy. 19-13. Wu to serve for Polk State. She served 3 consecutive points her last time with service. She goes to the back right corner with this serve. Nice setback for Kaki, and that was well designed. But a violation on the hit. It was well drawn up. The defense was rotated away from her. Just couldn't legally hit it. 19-14 is the score. Daytona State in front. Now Rogers with the attack. Wu hits it high into the air near the net. Dump attempt. But right there is the libero. And the whistle stops play, and this time the call goes against Polk State as the lead is back to a half dozen, and Rios has service for Daytona State. Serve toward the back left corner. Up around the net. Here comes the attack. Blocked back onto the Polk State side. Knocked toward the far left corner. Pushed into the air. Bumped over underhand. A setback along that right side. And a nifty attack there as Fitzy able to just drop it inside the back line. 20-15. Santana to serve for Polk State. Daytona State with a 5-point lead. Drilled into the middle of the floor. Pushed back and deflected off of Garcia. Out of bounds, a point for Daytona State. Polk State, despite more than 20 regular season wins, wound up second in the Suncoast Conference this year. And an errant serve off the hand of Daytona State's server there. I believe it was Delegati who had service that time. Castillo to serve for Polk State. 5-point game, Daytona State in front. Teams have traded the last few points, and they trade service errors here. Getting late for that for Polk State. 22-16, Daytona State in front. Here's the serve from the middle of the floor. Santana just gets down underneath it. Yu Wu with the attack. This is set up, and a long hit, too long. Brings the deficit back to 5 for Polk State. It was Ross who hit that one a little too hard. Garcia to serve. A long lead in. Bumped up into the air, pushed across by DeStefano. Sent back by Wu. That's a big kill. 22-18 the score. Wu played in just 21 matches in the regular season, or else her numbers would be even more gaudy. Garcia serves along the left edge, just wide. 23-18, Daytona State in front. Meanwhile, on the other court, St. Petersburg has seized the first set against College of Central Florida. Central Florida reeling in today's action. Here's the serve into the middle of the floor. Santana bumps it toward the net. It is batted down, and it brings up set point. Daytona State trying to lock it down here. Fabricant serving. Sends it toward Santana. Lofts it toward the net. Set in the middle of the floor. Struck off the top of the net. Carries onto the Daytona State side. And it makes it to the floor there. As Ross, very effective playing that right edge of the net here in the first set. Helps power a 25-18 first set win for Daytona State over Polk State. We'll be back in a moment for set number 2 from the Bradenton Area Convention Center. This is the FCS AA Volleyball Tournament. Set 2 about to begin between Daytona State and Polk State. Daytona State taking a 25-18 win in the first set. I'm Nate March, coming to you live from the Bradenton Area Convention Center, the FCSAA tournament. This is the final round of matches for today. Only 4 teams will remain heading into play tomorrow. Daytona State in the gray jerseys with the blue-coated libero on the near side of the court. Polk State in the black at the far end, and they are about to substitute their libero on as well. Polk State will have first serve. Castillo to get things started. Left to right serve. Batted up into the air. Madison Rogers strikes quickly. It is 1-0 Daytona State. St. Petersburg College defeated College of Central Florida in the first set of their match. Rio serving. Castillo sets it back, and the attack is powered into the net by Garcia. 2-0 Daytona State. Rio springs into her serve, keeps it along the left edge. Some desperation defense, and somehow Daytona State able to keep it alive. Blocked right back onto the Polk State side. Here comes Wu, and she picks up the kill. Wu from intermediate distance picking up the kill. Garcia serving. 2-1 Daytona State in front. Garcia with a beauty of a serve for the ace. Sharply hit with topspin into a vacant area. 2-2. Garcia springs into her serve. Hit straight up. DeStefano sets it back. Katke defended well. From the middle of the floor, there's an attack. Rios has to serve as a setter. Katke brings the attack once again. Over to the right side. A block attempt. It is kept in. Pushed back. Wu off the fingertips of the would-be blockers. DeStefano, an underhand set. Pounded across by Rogers. A long volley here. A middle-of-the-floor attack. It is knocked across, and DeStefano flat-footed, unable to make an adjustment. And the lead goes to Polk State for the first time in the match. 3-2 here in set number 2. Garcia, as she was about to serve, the ball from the other match came rolling onto the court. She holds up. High toss on the serve. Lots of topspin once again. Katke brings the attack. It is blocked back. And Polk State takes a 4-2 lead. Polk State, based in Winter Haven. (4-2) lead as Garcia serves once again. And a service error as she drills it into the net. 4-3 the score, and Katke to serve. Katke hits it at Wu, who plays it initially, wants to bring the attack. Wu does. DeStefano with the setup for Rogers. It is blocked back. Santana kept it alive there. And the defensive hit, not made by Katke. Got her hands on it, but couldn't corral it. And 5-3 is the score as Polk State sides out. Santana the libero to serve. Serves into the middle of the floor. It is pushed across to Stefano with a right-hand push attack, and that is hit long. Polk State on the attack that time. Veronica Nemkova. Lead is 1 for the Polk State Eagles, and the Falcons of Daytona State take it back down 5-4, but with a 1-set-to-none lead. Serve from the middle of the floor, parried high into the air. Wu on the attack. Couldn't quite get it over the blockers. A scramble defensively to Stefano with a setup into the middle of the floor. Rogers powers it. Here's Wu. And Wu with the kill. 6-4 Polk State. Yu Wu showing off her prowess, both for kills and digs. Nearly 300 kills. 236 digs this year to Stefano with a long set for Ross, and she's able to deflect it off of a Polk State player and down. 6-5 is the score. Polk State still in front. Fabricant to serve for Daytona State. Serve toward the libero. Santana falling over as she plays it. Winds up carrying over the net on the set attempt. A battle at the net, pushed across. Santana bats it high into the air, and it winds up making its way down on the Polk State side, and the score is even 6-6. That one just hung in the air for a long time, and no one could really settle under it while jockeying for position around the net. Fabricant trying to give Daytona State the lead. Wu. What a great job by Wu to pick up the kill there, as she had to fade to her left toward the right sideline while making the hit and directed it all the way to the left back corner. 7-6. Polk State in front, and now Wu gets to serve. Ross plays it up into the air, and DeStefano sets up Rogers. It is defended well. And that is well hit, and a kill for Polk State. Garcia. 8-6, Polk State in the lead. Wu serve toward the back left corner, and ace. 9-6. Wu serves toward Ross again, and another ace. Consecutive aces for Yu Wu. Timeout, Daytona State. 10-6 lead opened up by Polk State as they look to even the match. Daytona State taking the first set 25-18 and leading throughout that first set. Polk State has been out of the gate faster in set number 2. Over on the other court, mentioned that St. Petersburg took the first set against College of Central Florida. College of Central Florida trying to answer back. They have an 11-8 lead in the second set to make that 12-8. Daytona State and Polk State playing to keep their postseason fates alive. Last year, Hillsborough won this tournament. They did not qualify this time around. But Hillsborough went on to finish third in the country last year. Now, Polk State, with somewhat of a surprising run, managed to finish sixth. Wu to continue service. That's been a strong performance thus far. Leading 10-6, Polk State star puts it into play. It's Ross, and she is able to pick off around that line and get a deflection off Polk State in the process. 10-7, Daytona sides out, trailing though. DeStefano to serve. She does so towards Santana. a leading hit. Wu has her attack blocked on back, and it results in a point for Daytona State. Great play there, Alexis Sharp around the net. 10-8 the score. DeStefano serves at Santana once again. Great elevation, but a block attempt, and is unable to be garnered by Polk State. Daytona State aggressive, attacking the net. DeStefano serving for the tie in a 10-9 game. Wu bumps it over toward the far side. Defense along the back line by DeStefano. Turns Rios into the center on the play. A beautiful hit by Rogers. Brings Daytona State even, 10-10. DeStefano serves. Santana reaching on the bump. And that is hammered home. Big-time kill for Kathia Garcia to put Polk State back in front. 11-10. Polk State with the lead. Here's the serve. Bumped up by Ross. And Ross is going to get to attack here. In the middle of the floor, Wu. She's comfortable attacking from there. Here comes Rogers. And now Wu once again, intermediate distance, blocked right back. And once again, a good job by Sharp defending around the net there. And Polk State got sucked up, and the score is tied once again, 11-11. Ross to serve. She sends it right-handed across the net. And attack off the top of the net. Great play by Rios defensively. Rogers with a soft attack over the front line. Lofted high in the air and pushed toward the back corner by Wu. Rios sends it up. Rogers again. Couldn't get it over that time. Hit it into the top of the net and it wouldn't spin across. Polk State winds up with a lead 12-11. And they side out to serve. And momentary conference at the scorer's table. Castillo preparing to serve for the Eagles. Served toward the right edge. DeStefano sets up Rogers. The block attempt does not get the ball back across. Rios, good defense. Let's see Kaki here. Wide. 13-11, Polk State. Castillo again. A long lead into the serve. Sends it toward the right side. DeStefano just sets it straight up in the air. That was a beauty, and the kill executed by Sharp. Rios serving, trying to bring Daytona State back even. A looping serve over the net. Here is Wu, deflected around the net and out of bounds. And Polk State sides out quickly with a 2-point lead. Garcia preparing to serve. High toss. And a hit off the top of the net, and it carries wide. 15-12, Polk State with the advantage. Garcia puts it back into action. DeStefano sets up Kaki. Good defensive rotation, and here's Wu, and she hammers it off of a Falcon and out of bounds. 4-point lead, Polk State. Timeout on the court. Daytona State with a 1-0 lead, but Polk State charging hard with a 16-12 advantage, trying to even the match. We have seen some fantastic volleyball today. In the morning session, the semifinals, Miami-Dade going the distance in a 5-set win over this Daytona State squad. Santa Fe with a stunning upset of College of Central Florida. And then in the afternoon session, St. Petersburg eliminating Panhandle champion Pensacola. And after falling behind 2-0, Polk State battled all the way back to eliminate Palm Beach. Daytona State already back on the floor out of the timeout. Now, once again, Polk State will take the duration. On the other court, College of Central Florida leading 14-10, but trailing 1-0. Polk State back onto the floor with a 4-point lead. High toss into Garcia's lead-in of her serve. DeStefano sends it back, and that is volleyed off the ceiling, down and out. The attack there for Daytona was Sandra Hovels. Kaki with the serve. Wu just knocks it across underhand. DeStefano sets up Hovels again, the top of the net, and off of a Polk State player and out. The lead down to 2 for the Eagles. 16-14 as Kaki prepares to serve again. Just over the top of the net and down. And apparently not. It appeared from this vantage point that it had legally crossed on to the Polk State side. Instead, it is Santana's serve. 17-14 advantage. And there's a great kill for Hovels. Going right to left. And again, Polk State's lead is down to 2. Madison Rogers to serve. Sent to the back line middle. Santana turns into the setter for Wu. And Wu beautifully placed inside the back line by Yu Wu. Extends the lead back to 3 for Polk State. 18-15. Left to right serve there. Sails wide. Service error. That one from Aurora Alderman. Fabricant serving. She sends it toward the back right corner. And Fabricant winds up having to be the defensive player on that one and is unable to keep it over her end of the court. Ball winds up spinning back and out, and the lead back to 3 for Polk State in this second set at 19-16. Yu Wu serving. Hit high in the air. This might carry over. Does not quite, and so Ross gets a chance to attack it. Diving collision there. Both teams with a little bit of a chance to reset now. Rogers defended by Wu. And a violation against Daytona State. Wu to serve with a 4-point lead. Sends it right to left. Ross gets the first touch. And Ross gets to attack. And a beautiful attack off the diving Santana. 20-17. Trailing by 3, Daytona State preparing to serve. She sends it towards Santana, back row middle. Rios plays it high into the air. Kaki has it blocked back. A wall at the net by Garcia and Fitzy. 21-17. Polk State with the lead, and they will serve. Nicole Boots preparing to serve. Here is the serve. Soft sinker. In the middle is Kaki. Wu hits it a mile high into the air and then gets to attack. It is defended by Rogers. Kaki gets to attack once again. It is blocked right back. This time Rogers. And it deflects off of a Polk State player and carries back out. 21-18. Polk State leading by 3. Ross to serve. And a service error. Polk State bench getting excited. They are 3 points away from drawing even in the match. Serve coming for Polk State. DeStefano sets it back. Kaki able to collect the kill. So right away, Castillo's service is broken. 22-19 though, Polk State still in front. Rios ready to serve. She goes left to right. Wu puts the first hit on it. A battle at the net, shoved over. Rios, a desperation hit. This just needs to be batted across. It is, but Santana is there. Shoved on over. DeStefano puts a touch on it. Punched over by Kaki. Well placed, but Rios is there defensively. And now Rogers. That is batted high into the air. Santana sends it back toward the middle of the floor, and it's bumped over. DeStefano. And a battle at the net won by Daytona State to climb back within 2. Rios preparing to serve once again. Rios, Santana plays it. Bumped over the top. The attack is successfully made once again by Hovels. Daytona State back to within 1. Timeout on the court. The Falcons trying to swoop in and steal the second set to take a commanding lead. Over on the other court, 19-16, College of Central Florida leading St. Petersburg in the second set. St. Petersburg has just cut Central Florida's lead to 2. Central Florida had been riding a 20-match winning streak into the tournament. And now they are fighting just to make it through the day after falling to Santa Fe earlier. Back on our court, 22-21 in the second set. Polk State in front of Daytona State College. Daytona State in front 1-0 and trying to make a late surge here. Rios preparing to serve. Rios sends it over. And that ball just makes it over the net. Desperation time for the Eagles. Rios turns into the setter here for Kaki. Santana defensively parries it up into the air, and here's Wu on the attack, and a successful attack. DeStefano can't defend it. 23-21, Polk State in the lead. Garcia to serve. High toss, Garcia. Good zip on the serve. Hovels Tips it up and over. Somehow the Eagles able to keep it alive. Rios gets it over to Rogers. It is blocked back, but the call there goes against Polk State over the top of the net. Coach Del Valle extends his arms toward the official in frustration. Daytona State back within 23-22. And we haven't seen Haley Delegati in a while. Here she is to serve. Delegati sends it towards Santana. Wu. And another beautiful delivery for the kill by Yu Wu. This time right inside that left boundary. Brings up set point for Polk State. Santana to serve. Santana ready to serve for the set. Sends it across to Stefano. Rogers. Right along that right side. Block attempted. Rogers again on the attack and is able to extend the set. 24-23, still set point for Polk State. Daytona State has Rogers ready to serve. She must score here in order to extend this set. Right-handed serve to the back line. Middle, it is mishit initially. Wu keeps it alive. Santana gets it across. Delegati comes up to make a play, and DeStefano sets it up. That is well hit. Batted back toward the net. Has to be knocked over. It is. Good defensive communication. Here's Hovels on a soft attack. Santana dives in defensively underneath. Batted around, and again, just over. Eagles able to keep this going. Hovels well struck and evens this set at 24-24. Here's Madison Rogers serving for the lead. And miscommunication. It is mishandled by Santana, and three Eagles all lunge toward it unsuccessfully. And that brings up set point for Daytona State. From the middle of the floor, served, and just long. Rogers an inch away from a set-clinching ace. Instead, it is 25-25. Polk State to serve. Sent to the libero, Rios. And some miscommunication, just has to be pushed across there. It's a mad scramble. Rios, Rogers, and Santana cannot defend it. Daytona State back in front, 26-25, and Rogers an intermediate distance strike there, and able to knock it off of Santana. Set point once again. Fabricant serving. Santana bats it up. Here is Wu, and she kills it, 26-26. Now Wu to serve. Wu serves right to left. Well defended, well hit, and in. Daytona State once again has set point at 27-26. Hovels to serve. Daytona State stacks front middle. Wu gets the first touch on it here. Set back, there's the attack, it's wide! And deflection is signaled, some confusion there, but deflection is signaled. It is 27-27. Linesman raised his flag out. Lead official signaled the deflection. 27 all. Served right to left. Set back. Here comes Ross. Ross with the kill. It is 28-27, and once again, Daytona State with set point. Again and again, they have had this chance. Here is Ross, trying to give Daytona State a 2-0 lead, but not this time. 28-28. So now Polk State with Castillo serving. An incredibly hard-fought second set here. Daytona State with a 1-0 lead. Served just over the top. It is set up, and Rogers once again brings up set point for Daytona State. She has been exceptional here in the late stages of set 2. Rios to serve. 29-28. Sent toward Santana, miscommunication, batted up into the air, and Wu just has to knock it over. Rios makes the first touch. There's the set. That is hit hard, but Santana with a lunge, able to set up Wu for the attack. Parried up into the air. Rios turns into the setter. Rogers once again. Wu plays it defensively. Now Santana. Wu just has to bump it over. Pushed up into the air by Rios. Here's the set for Rogers again, off the fingertips of the would-be blockers. Set back, and here comes the attack. Well played defensively. It almost carries over. Battle at the net. This one has to get over. It does. Santana plays it up into the air. Another attack coming, a soft one. Some more great defense, but once again, it just has to be pushed across by Daytona State. Attack coming from the right side now and a diving play. This is the longest volley of the match. Rogers once again. Santana is there. Woo! It is blocked in Daytona State. 30-28. They take a 2-0 lead over Polk State. And the Eagles will be playing to extend their season when we return for set 3 from the Bradenton Area Convention Center. This is the FCSAA Volleyball Tournament. Set 3 about to get underway between Polk State and Daytona State here at the FCS AA Volleyball Tournament. Daytona State a thrilling 30-28 second set victory to take a 2-0 lead over Polk State. Over on the other court, the match is tied 1 set apiece between Central Florida and St. Petersburg. Daytona State to serve first. Polk State was able to fend off 5 potential set points from Daytona State. And Daytona State about to get things started here in set 3. Santana fields the serve. Pushed back immediately. Daytona State is out in front 1-0. The server is Haley Tolaire. Have not called her name yet today, but her service has given a 1-0 lead to Daytona State. Here's Yu Wu. Big kill to the back line. Wu had a big second set, but it still was not enough. She is the star of this Polk State team. She evens the score 1-1 and now serves. Polk State at the near end, Daytona State in the gray at the far end. Served across. Rios makes the initial play. That is drilled. Wu, nice job defensively on the dig. Wu shoves the ball across. This pass to the right side off some blockers. It's going to be hard to keep in play. We apologize for the technical difficulties. 3-2 is the score here as Polk State prepares to serve. Polk State with a 3-2 advantage, and Santana serving. Her counterpart Rios plays the ball into the air. Havel came on the attack that time. Here is Wu, and Wu with another dynamic kill. 4-2. Polk State in the lead. Santana to serve again. Played in the back line middle. An attack by Rogers along that right side. And Daytona State sides out. Rogers has been one of the best players out there today of any team. Kaki serves, and it is long. Ooh, close call there, but just long. The officials have done a great job today. Polk State with a 5-3 lead. And Castillo preparing to serve. And in! A serve just out on one end, a serve just in on the other, and it is 6-3 Polk State. Castillo serves, dropping to a knee. Rios plays it. Havels comes on the attack. Desperation, and it comes up short for Daytona State. 7-3, Polk State in front. Four-point lead for the Eagles. Castillo serves, bumped up into the air. Rogers just able to push it over. A great save. She jumped early, but was able to catch it on the way down and shove it down for the kill. Daytona State down 3. They played from behind most of the second set. Well served. Wu tumbles over backwards while playing it defensively. Hit back toward the net. And that is Rogers again. From intermediate distance, she brings the hammer down. 7-5, Daytona State trailing. Now Rogers will serve. Madison Rogers serves to Yu Wu. It is bumped over at the last second by the Eagles. Here's Katke with a big hit toward Santana. Just able to get it over are the Eagles. And Ross collects the kill. Rogers serving to try and bring Daytona State even. Serves towards Santana. Here comes the attack by Garcia. Katke blocked back. Shoved over by the libero. Great job on that attack to elude the blockers. But now Ross has it blocked right back at her. Rios hits it up. Rogers has it blocked back. And that time Polk State able to turn Rogers away. 8-6, the Eagles in front. Garcia to serve. Garcia with the high toss. Does not make an attempt to strike it. Now puts it in play. Bumped up by Rios. Here is Ross on the attack and finds a gap and picks up the kill. Daytona State sides out, trailing by 1, 8-7. 2-0 lead for Daytona State as they try to advance to tomorrow's consolation game and a chance still to qualify for the national tournament. Served from the middle of the floor. Bumped toward the net. And that is driven off of a Daytona State player at the net. 9-7, Polk State in front. Nicole Boots on to serve. Boots lofts it over the net, backside middle, too far. Service error. Brings Daytona State back within a point. DeStefano to set. A conference at the scorer's table. And Polk State is asking for an explanation of something. Perhaps confusion on a substitution rotation. Over on the other court, St. Petersburg leading 12-9 in the third set. That match is even, one set apiece. College of Central Florida trying to bounce back from a rough loss earlier. St. Petersburg playing a very strong match over there as we wait for action still to resume on our court. Again, tomorrow's championship round will feature Santa Fe taking on Miami-Dade, perennial power Miami-Dade, against upstart Santa Fe. This conference has reached the point of being just a tad confounding. Scorers table continuing to consult as both teams await the opportunity to resume play. Polk State leading 9-8. And after a long look, I'm wrong again. I thought they were about to reinitiate. Discussion continues between the Polk State coaching staff and the officials at the scorers table. Perhaps in the future we will move toward miking up the officials for this as well. Get an explanation on just what is transpiring down there. On the other court, St. Petersburg continues to lead in the third set. DeStefano has been awarded the ball to finally serve. And she does serve. Santana puts it up into the air. Here comes Wu on the attack. It is blocked and comes down inbounds. And the score is even 9-9. Daytona State drawing even. DeStefano with a sinker into the middle of the floor. Katke came on the attack and defended illegally, a violation against Polk State. Leading 10-9, Daytona State still serving. A soft attack there, well placed, but defended by Daytona State. And a drive there around the net. And unable to bring it back inbounds on that attack was Sharp. So 10-10 the score. Aurora Alderman serving. Alderman sends it to the libero, Rios. And that is hit to Santana, who's able to play it into the air. Rios positioned again defensively. And here comes the attack from the back line. A surprise move there as it was arced up over Sharp. And then I think it was Rogers who came off the back line for the kill. 11-10. Looked like Sharp would make the play on it. At the last second, she pulled away. Here's the serve with Daytona State leading 11-10. Hit through the blockers. Played up into the air. This has to be knocked over. Santana gets it up. An intermediate range. Bat across. Set up. Sharp comes on the attack, and it is blocked right back. Katke cannot corral it. 11-11 as Polk State sides out, and Yu Wu will serve. Daytona State with a 2-0 lead. There's the serve by Wu. Push to the far side. Rogers off Wu. 12-11. Daytona State back in front. Libero Rio serves. Into the middle for Santana. The attack by Garcia, and it is blocked, but out of bounds. Point for Polk State, 12-12. Santana prepared to serve. Santana serves into the middle of the floor. And A battle at the net is kept alive by Daytona State, but just has to be played across softly. No real attack there. Wu strikes it hard, but off the top of the net. Makes it easier to play back. Kaki. Wu defensively makes a great play for the dig. And that is hit toward the far corner. In or out? In! 13-12. Polk State in front. Another hotly contested set between Daytona State and Polk State. Eagles serving. Batted across. That was a miss hit. Just has to be backed on across here. Blocked back, though. Knocked over by Wu and then miss hit on the lunge. 14-12, Polk State. Santana serves. Into the middle. Good sink on it. Kaki comes on the attack. And a beautiful hit as she swung at it with her right hand and sort of inside out of the ball. That was like a hitter in baseball taking an inside pitch the other way. Completely back against the grain. 14-13 the score. Polk State gets it back across. Here comes the attack from that right side, and Daytona State has drawn even at 14-14 as they have Delegati back in for service. She just served that point to draw even, and now serves for the lead. Served back row middle. Wu gets the first touch on it. It is set to the left side, and that is hammered home by Garcia. 15-14 Polk State. Castillo to serve. Castillo lofts it toward the right edge. And Hovels on the attack that time. Castillo slaps it over, or actually Garcia. Off the fingertips of a possible blocker. A swinging bump into the air by Santana and then nudged across. Over far side, and the kill for Daytona State. Now Rogers continues to be a force. It is 15-15. Daytona State serving. Rogers sends it left to right. And that trickles over, a diving save, and it goes over on that hit. Wu, intermediate distance. Delegati with good defense there. And this has to be knocked into the air right near the net. Here comes Wu again, straight up the seam. That's hit up into the rafters, and this needs to get over, and Delegati is able to play it across. Santana bumps it up. Here comes the attack, and a kill to an open area as Garcia delivers to the back right corner. 16-15, Polk State in front. Garcia ready to serve. With a 16-15 lead, Garcia serves. Delegati plays it defensively. And that is a fantastic kill by Ross as she handcuffs an Eagle. 16-16. The level of play we have seen here today has oftentimes been exceptional. Served across. 16-16, battle at the net. And it is won by Daytona State for a 17-16 lead. Fabricant serving. Sent across toward Santana. And this is swiped out of bounds along the left side. An interesting play drawn up there. A very guided finesse attack toward that line. But the hit by Sanabria carried too far wide left, and it is 18-16 Polk State as we have a timeout on the court here in set number 3. Daytona State leading 18-16 over Polk State and leading the match 2-0. Polk State needs to dig deep and put together a hard charge here down the stretch if they are to extend their season. Winner advances to play tomorrow against the winner of the match taking place to our left. St. Petersburg on the cusp of taking a 2-1 lead over there. I don't think you would have found too many people that would have predicted coming into this tournament that College of Central Florida would not make it to the third day. Certainly that is not a done deal yet by any means, but they are on the ropes, trailing 24-16. In set number 3, Daytona State, as per usual, they are already back on the floor. Here comes Polk State trailing by 2. Both teams back onto the floor. Fabricant to continue serving. Fabricant dribbles back and forth, either hand, then serves from middle to right edge. Here is Wu. Well defended. The attack by Ross, it's long. No deflection, it's a point for Polk State. They are back within one at 18-17, and Boots is back on to serve. Boots serves, and a service error. Into the net, 19-17 Daytona State. Left it short. DeStefano serving. Just gets it over. Santana not the cleanest hit there. Wu able to punch it over. And a hit in the middle. It is out. Just out. 19-18. Polk State down 1. Alderman serving. Served with the right hand, bumped up into the air. And this is going to be hard. Oh, wow. Good job by the Eagles to defend this one. Here comes Wu on the attack, and she brings the Eagles even at 19-19. Here's Alderman again. From right to left. Played toward the net. Where is the attack coming from? Kaki winds up with the attack. And there is Wu. Drives it through the blockers. This is going to be a tricky one. Ross able to keep it in play at least on the attack. Wu is set up again. Pinballs it off the blockers. Played high into the air. Kaki coming again. Hit right back at her. It is Ross. Unable quite to get it to the floor. And it is driven in. Wu's placement has been spot on. 20-19, Polk State has gone in front here in the third set as we come to another timeout. Polk State needing to win this set in order to extend the match to a fourth one. Daytona State was able to put together a late charge in set 2. And after multiple attempts at set point, secured a 30-28 win after a 25-18 victory in the first set. Looks like we are heading toward another exciting finish here in set 3. Daytona State already back on the court. The fourth set just about to get underway over on the other court. where St. Petersburg College has a 2-1 lead over Central Florida. Alderman still serving for the Eagles. Alderman delivers her serve. It just needs to get over the net now. That was not particularly well played by the Falcons. Sets up a good chance for the Eagles and another one. Now the defense scrambling for the Falcons. Katke, though, gets the chance to attack. It is out. (21-19). Here's the serve by Alderman. Rios gets the first hit to Stefano with a good set, but the hit is long. Sharp coming up on the attack there. 22-19. Alderman with a 3-point lead, serves it across. Battle at the net. It is pushed over and out. So Daytona State within 2 at 22-20. Toller is on to serve. Served over, Santana bumps it up. Wu gets to attack. Great defensive play. It almost carries all the way over. Here's the attack by Rogers and brings Daytona State back within 1 yet again. Just when it looks like she doesn't have the angle, she's able to direct it along that right side. Toller serves long, and it's 23-21. Wu serving. Wu set up on the left side now, will serve from the right side instead. Bump toward the net to Stefano, sets it back. Katke. It is defended by Wu, knocks it over on one hit. Set up for Rogers. And that block attempt, some great diving defense. It is still alive. Wu is able to just bat it over. Rogers is set up again. This time hammers it off Wu for a point. Another kill for Rogers. It was Rios who was serving to key the big comeback at the end of the second set, and she gets it back here to serve. And now Polk State leading by 1. They will use their last timeout. Desperate moments here. Polk State clinging to a 1-point lead in a do-or-die third set. Daytona State trying to execute a hard-fought sweep after a very tough 5-set loss against Miami-Dade earlier this morning. Daytona State returns to the floor. It's going to be the libero Rios serving. Both teams returning to the floor. Rios serving. Knuckles it across. And a perfect kill, flawlessly done by Fitzy. Pinned it under the hands of a Falcon. Brings up set point. Santana to serve. Santana trying to take this third set. Lofts it over. Rogers once again. 24-23. And now Daytona State will substitute Delegati back in to try and preserve set number 3. Here's the serve. Dropping toward Wu. This is a soft attack. Batted toward the left edge. Just has to be knocked over. Santana sends it back toward the net. Wu is set up to attack. And she strikes it home to deliver set number 3 to the Polk State Eagles. 25-23. Back with the fourth set in a moment. This is the FCSAA volleyball tournament from the Bradenton Area Convention Center. Polk State able to extend the match to a fourth set with a 25-23 set 3 victory. That was after Daytona State captured set 1 25-18 and set 2 30-28. I'm Nate March, and as set 4 is about to begin, Daytona State at the near end of the floor, and at the far end of the floor is Polk State. Both teams back on the floor now. With a set 4 win, Daytona State advances to the consolation finals tomorrow. Polk State with a set 4 win will force a fifth set. They came back earlier this afternoon from 2 sets down to defeat Palm Beach State College. And opening with service, Polk State. Kaki for Daytona State. Picks up the kill, 1-0 Falcons. Daytona State immediately breaks serve, and they will have Rios take first service here. She sends it across. And a back set. Well designed and well struck by Garcia. Evens the score, 1-1. And Garcia has service now. High toss. There's the serve. Knocked up into the air by Rogers. Kaki comes. This is going to be tough to play and unplayable. 2-1 in favor of Daytona State. And now they will substitute Delegati on to serve. Delegati has been one of the top servers for this Falcons squad, and she sends it toward the back line where Santana plays it. Attacked around the net, has to be played up into the air. This is set up for Rogers. She delivers yet again. Rogers has made a huge case for recognition on the all-tournament team. Delegati serving with a 3-1 lead. And wide, just out to the left. That initial pass carried too far. It almost snuck down in, which would have been fortuitous for the Eagles. As it is 4-1 Daytona State. And that is mishit by Delegati. Just drills it straight into the net. And that service error gets the ball back over to Polk State. Trailing 4-2, Santana to serve. Santana serves, and a near receiving error there. And it does wind up being unsuccessfully returned. 4-3 the score. Central Florida is well on their way to forcing a fifth set against St. Petersburg, leading 18-9 in their fourth set. Set 4 over here. It is a 4-3 lead for Daytona State as Santana serves. Once again, not a great initial hit there, and it leads to a tying point for Polk State. Toller got handcuffed on that one. 4-4 is the score. Sent toward Rios. Pushed over, and no, it did not get over. 5-4 Polk State. The attempt was there by DeStefano to push it over. Didn't make it across, though. 5-4. Polk State has their first lead of this set. DeStefano once again plays it across with the right hand. Wu is set up for a push shot. DeStefano long set over to Rogers. Cross-court pass. Wu set up again. Blocked right back at her, and she hits it into the net. 5-5. Rogers to serve. Ross subs onto the floor, near side left. Hit to Santana. Bumped up. That attack trickles off the top of the net. Rios turns into the center. Rogers from intermediate distance. And that is hit into the net. And back in front goes Daytona State. Rogers readying to serve again. And a service error by Rogers. 6-6. And it looks like Alderman to serve. Aurora Alderman in a 6-6 fourth set. Delegati with the initial hit. This is set back. Hovers. There's a minor collision. Two Eagles on the ground. Falcons now shift back into defensive mode. This is pushed over for Ross. Well-positioned shot as she tucks it just past the lunging libero, Santana. 7-6, Daytona State. Sandra Hovers to serve, or pardon me, Hovels to serve. Hovels bats it right to left. Santana with the initial hit. And this is mishandled, but Wu able to clean it up and get a clean attack off. This is batted back over. Played along the line. Ross goes after Santana again. This time she's able to turn it away. Middle of the floor attack. It is long and undeflected. 8-6 Daytona State. The Falcons with a 2-1 lead. Hovels to serve again. She bats it across. They go away from Wu this time, the Eagles do. Here comes Rogers, and miss hits into the net. Loaded up and hit on a low angle. Polk State sides out, and Yu Wu will serve. Polk State trailing 8-7. Served into the middle, Delegati plays it up, tailing right. Rogers in! 9-7. DeStefano to serve. Sent to Santana. That is drilled at Rios and out. 9-8. Polk State to serve. Each of these teams are on their 9th set of the day. I'm sure still plenty of adrenaline, though, even if some fatigue may be setting in. There's the serve. Parried high into the air. Katke with the attack. It's played right on back toward her again. Wu with a diving dig. Punched across, played high into the air. Rios turns into the center. Here comes Rogers, blocked downward, but it comes down on the same side for Polk State. Rogers able to put enough juice onto that one. Made the ball sticky, you could say. Here's Toller on the serve. She gets it across. And blocked back, but out of bounds. Katke and Sharp unsuccessful on the block attempt. Here's Castillo to serve for Polk State. 10-9 Daytona in front. Right-handed serve played into the air by Rogers. DeStefano punches it up over the net, but out of bounds. These last couple sets, we've seen a lot of passes from the Falcons that have carried DeStefano closer to the net than she can comfortably get a set off from. She's had to play the ball across on her own. Well, I would say it was probably a little too often. This is back toward Rogers, and that's a pretty shot. Rogers goes left to right. Serve by Rios, 11-10 Daytona State. And a battle at the net won by Daytona State. Some miscommunication, two Eagles went up for it. Neither one hit it with much authority, and it was shoved right back at them on the block. 12-10, Falcons in front. And a timeout on the floor, as in this potentially decisive fourth set, Daytona State has opened up a 12-10 lead. Still very, very close as Polk State tries to force a fifth set. We have seen tons of great volleyball here today. Thank you so much for joining us on the FCSAA Sports YouTube stream. I'm Nate March, and we've had great work from our entire crew, and also have to give a shout out to Matt Ennis and the crew from SCF, who are doing a great job hosting this tournament. Again, first of 3 years that the tournament will be hosted here in Manatee County. And great to see the support for this tournament from SCF, from the Bradenton Sports Commission. And, of course, it would be remiss of me not to give another shout-out to Anna's Deli for all the spectacular food. They're as important of a sponsor as anyone of this fantastic event. Teams back onto the court. 12-10 lead for Daytona State. Rios, the libero, to serve again. She sends it along the left edge. Played up into the air. This is set back. Castillo, or actually it's Garcia who drives it. Comes right on back to the Polk State side, and that is in. A soft floater over the net and in. And Polk State draws within one at 12-11. Garcia to serve. Garcia this year in the regular season, 333 kills, 245 digs. She unleashes the serve here. DeStefano sets up Kaki, and Kaki hits the back line in. 13-11 Daytona State. Delegati on, Kaki off. Kaki with a big point there, and here's the serve by Delegati. Wu. Good defense there. Here's Rogers, sneaks it through the blockers. I don't know how she found the window there. It looked like Polk State had a perfect wall there for a dual block, and Rogers snuck it through. 14-11. Haley Delegati to serve again for Daytona State. And serves it long. That is her second service error here in this fourth set. Santana ready to serve. – 14-12 as Santana serves for Polk State down 2. And Rogers goes after Santana with that hard strike. From intermediate distance, Garcia. Here is Rogers again. Kept alive, hit over on one touch. This is set up. Rogers once again. It is blocked right back. And it finds its way to the floor for Polk State as they're back within one, 14-13. College of Central Florida has forced a fifth set. This is served across. Some great sink on this one. Hovels with a big hit. It's in. 15-13. Daytona State in front. So now Rogers to serve. Sends it across. Wu with the initial hit. Delegati gets it up into the ceiling. This needs to get over, and it will not get over in play. Polk State hanging in, down 1. Here's the serve by Alderman. Delegati with a soft initial hit there forces the libero, Rios, to be the one to play it across. That is blocked right back. And Daytona State able to catch a break on that one as they seem to be in a scramble. But able to take a 2-point lead, 16-14. Served over by Sandra Hovels. And Wu has her attack blocked back. It has been a razor-thin margin throughout this fourth set. But now, Daytona State up 3, 17-14. Hovels serves again. Santana bumps it up. Attack from the middle. Wu hasn't had many opportunities to attack in this set, it doesn't seem. And there is a great block down. And getting in there was Fitzy at the net. So now Wu will serve in a 17-15 fourth set. Polk State down 2. And there is a finesse attack right around the net. And this time Wu does get a chance to attack it. This has to get over. It is knocked across. Santana comes up for an initial bump. And this is set back. That is a great block. Kept alive, though. The Eagles on the attack. And a violation against Daytona State. And so Polk State is back within one at 17-16. Wu serves right to left, played first by Delegati. And that is well struck. And the kill collected for Daytona State. DeStefano getting aggressive. She's ready to serve. She punches it across at Wu, who makes the initial hit. Here comes Garcia on the attack. That is batted straight up into the ceiling. Hit back toward the net. Now Rios must play it over with her back to the net. Garcia once again on the attack. Hit over on one hit. This is set up not for Wu, but rather hit elsewhere. And it winds up redirected out of bounds. And the lead is back down to 1 for Daytona State. 18-17. Here's the serve for Polk State. DeStefano sets it up. Here's the attack by Garcia long. Garcia's attack long, lead back to 2 for the Falcons. Toller to serve. She leaps into her serve. Santana turns into the setter on this. Garcia, the block unsuccessful for the Falcons. Kaki. This is right over the net. Played into the air. Once again, Santana winds up setting. There's a great block, but Santana even better defense. Wu on the attack. This is set up. There's Rogers. Blocked down. But onto her own side for the Eagles. In there trying to block it. Up front, Fitzy and I believe Alderman. So now 21-17. Toller serves again. Wu bumped into the air and almost over. Rogers drills it at Santana. Wu defended well. This is hit back. Kaki. Santana again, well done. And Garcia, out! It is just wide. A close call goes Daytona State's way. 21-17. Timeout on the court. The Falcons are leading by 4. And they are 4 points away from advancing to play on Sunday. Central Florida has roared out to a 4-0 lead over St. Petersburg in the 5th set on the other court. Central Florida, a heavy favorite, digging in and battling from behind. And they are trying to survive to Sunday. If the scores here hold, these two 4-point leads, it would set up the Mid-Florida champion and the Mid-Florida runner-up to play each other with one spot in the national tournament on the line. Mid-Florida third-place team, Santa Fe, is already heading to the national tournament. Polk State needs a comeback here in the 4th set to extend the season for the Suncoast Conference. St. Petersburg could do the same if they can rally from a 5-0 deficit over on the other court. The score 21-17. Teams have returned to the floor. Toller to serve again. And a service error out of the timeout. brings Polk State back within 3. 21-18. That is hit into the air. Played up into the air. Cocky. Garcia on the attack. It is blocked back. Wu with the dig. Garcia comes again and drills it off of the Falcons. 21-19. Polk State serving. Castillo sends it across. Rios with the initial hit to Stefano. Sets it up. That is played high into the air by Wu. Battle at the net. Right along the net. The ball sails in the air. Pushed over. Rogers goes to the corner and scores. Apparently not. 21-20 is the score. It appeared that Rogers legally hit the ball in to that corner. Polk State has climbed back to within 1. Timeout on the court. Polk State trying to rally. They have scored 3 in a row. Eagles trying to force a 5th set. Polk State still in the huddle. Over on the other court, it is 7-3 Central Florida in the 5th set. Castillo to serve. Here is the serve. This is set up. Attacked right there around the net. Battle at the net. Batted into the air. Wu goes for the attack. Here is Rogers again. Hits it off the blockers. Wu parries it into the air. Garcia, it is blocked back at her. It is kept alive. Punched on over and out. A 4-0 run by Polk State as they draw even 21-all. Castillo serves. Pushed over. Rogers again. And this time Wu cannot make the dig. 22-21 Daytona State. Rios to serve. Sends it across to her counterpart, Santana. Wu. Now Rios cannot keep this one in, but wow, it is pushed back from the bench area. DeStefano with some great defense there. And this is a battle at the net. Someone's got to get it over here. Daytona State does. Out! 22-22. Bumped across toward that back corner by Toller. Polk State let it fly, and it did sneak out. Garcia serves. It's a beauty. Stefano sets up Rogers. Rogers again. Wu there defensively. Wu on the attack gives Polk State the lead, 23-22. Another timeout on the court. 23-22, Polk State leading, trying to force a 5th set. On the other court, Central Florida with an 8-5 lead. Daytona State, they never spend long in the huddle. Falcons are on the floor. Daytona State won the first two sets, 25-18 and 30-28. Polk State 25-23 in set 3. They lead 23-22 here. Eagles back onto the court. Garcia serving. Kathia Garcia puts it in the air. Hit up into the air. Wu on the attack. Gets it over the blockers. That initial hit by Toller sends it all the way back over. And Wu drills it off of the Falcons, 24-22. Set point coming up for Polk State. Garcia serves. Some great sink on that one. Rogers on the attack. Wu plays it into the air. She is set up and delivers! 25-22. Polk State has forced a fifth set. We'll be back in a moment from the Bradenton Area Convention Center. To a decisive fifth set we go between Polk State and Daytona State here at the FCSAA Volleyball Championship Tournament. Winner of this match will advance to tomorrow's consolation game with a spot in the national tournament in Casper, Wyoming on the line. barring a miraculous rally by St. Petersburg. College of Central Florida will await the winner of this one. College of Central Florida has won in 5 sets over St. Petersburg. And now our 5th set to begin. Daytona State near side to begin. Polk State is at the far end. DeStefano to serve. She swats it across. Yu Wu with the initial hit and a big kill. Garcia gets on the board early, 1-0. Castillo to serve for Polk State. The runner-up of the Suncoast Conference, trying to extend its season, trying to battle back from a 2-0 deficit for a second straight match. That is served from left to right. Ross comes on the attack and evens the score 1-1. Kyra Ross. Fabricant to serve. Springs into action. Santana falling forward to make the initial pass. DeStefano sets up Rogers. It's blocked back, but out of bounds. Yet another kill for Rogers. Her stat line will be an impressive one when it's said and done. 2-1 Daytona State. Fabricant serves. Santana with the initial hit, then Wu. That is hit through the blockers and gets to the floor, 2-2. Wu, not known for being the assister, had only 21, one per match in the regular season, but collects one there. She's usually the one doing the killing. Here's the serve, played into the air by Toller. It is pushed across there. Wu has it blocked and it comes down in. 3-2 Daytona State. The libero Rios takes her turn to serve. Sends it across at her counterpart Santana. And there's a big kill. From left to right, Nemkova finishes it off. 3-3. 5th set, played to 15. Santana serves. And a deceptive attack there. Not intentional, I don't think, but Kaki comes up with the kill on a soft attack. Just a lapse of defensive focus for a brief second by Polk State, and it cost them on that one, when it looked like the Falcons were reeling just to get that ball across. Wu drops to her knee to return Delegati's serve. Stefano sets this one up. It is pushed into the net by Polk State. An attempted attack by Nemkova comes up short. 5-3 Daytona State. Delegati to serve again. Sends it across, played on the back line. Set up for Wu. Plays it off the blockers and brings Polk State back within one. 5-4. We have had a thriller on our hands. Alderman back to serve. Alderman serves left to right. DeStefano sets it up. Rogers has it blocked back, and we are tied again, 5-5. Alderman serving for the lead. Gets it just over the net. Rogers sends it over. Santana plays it. Wu. And able to get it through the block to the back corner. And Polk State is in front. 6-5. Alderman sneaks it over the net. Toller plays it first. And that is a well-positioned hit by Rogers. Swings it back to the left to even the score 6-6. Rogers serving. Back row middle. Wu able to get it through the blockers. 7-6 Polk State. And Wu has taken over in this fifth and final set. And now she will serve. Seven, 6 lead. And Wu serves. Delegati unable to handle it. It's an ace. 8-6. Team switch ends. Daytona State to the far end. To the near end comes Polk State. Wu serving with a 2-point lead. Teams are set. And now there seems to be some sort of issue. A complaint of some sort being lodged by Polk State. Now Wu ready to serve. Delegati with the first touch. And that is well struck. A much-needed kill for Daytona State. They get it from Sandra Hovels. 8-7, Polk State leading. Hovels serving. Serve to the middle of the floor. Santana with the initial hit on it. Garcia. And that attack is defended by who? Garcia gets it through the blockers, but no one is there to play it for Daytona State. 9-7. Boot serving. Boot sends it left to right. Ross's attack. It comes from out of bounds. 10-7 Polk State. Timeout on the court. Daytona State lost a 5-set thriller in the semifinals this morning. And after taking a 2-0 lead, here in this elimination match, Polk State has battled back, winning 25-23, 25-22, and now leading 10-7 in this fifth and final set. It is the Falcons' turn to see the end of their season before them and be forced to try and claw back. True to form, even in this tense moment. They're not long for the huddle. Falcons on the floor, and they await the return of the Eagles. The Falcons have the libero Rios on the floor, along with Rogers, Delagrati, Ross, and Stefano. Sharp is out there as well as the serve is made by Boots. Rogers, well hit, nice defensive play by Yu Wu. Falcons scrambling. That hit just comes over. And Garcia is unable to keep it in along the line. 10-8 the score. Daytona State sides out, and the serve will be made by DeStefano. She serves. Over to Garcia. It is tipped back. 10-9 the score. Daytona State trying to draw even as DeStefano will serve. Yu Wu with the initial hit, and she will come on the attack as well. That is hit high, up toward the ceiling. Rios turns into the setter. It's a soft attack by Rogers, a lunging save there. Wu comes on the attack again. This one defended a little better, sets up a more ideal attacking position. And it is bumped up by Santana. Garcia comes on the attack, gets it through the blockers. Ross bats it over. Alderman gets a touch. Wu once again collects the kill, 11-9. Yu Wu has a somewhat seemingly unconventional comfort spot there in the middle of the floor. Don't see too many hitters that love to take it there the way that she does. But she has been lethal from that positioning. Here's the serve by Castillo with an 11-9 lead. And there's an attack from the middle of the floor. That's the sort of area I'm talking about. It's Rogers, though, for Daytona State delivering from that spot. Fabricant subs in. She will serve for the tie. 11-10, Polk State in front. Here's the serve. Santana with the initial bump. It is set up for Garcia. It is blocked back. Even again, 11-11. What an incredible match these two have put on display for us this evening. Fabricant serving for the lead. Santana with the initial bump. Again, Garcia comes on the attack. Rios plays it into the air. A whistle and a point for Polk State, 12-11. Garcia to serve. A high toss. There's the hit. Batted up into the air. Played along over there. And it is blocked back. Nemkova roars. An ecstatic celebration. A 2-point lead. And Polk State 2 points away. Timeout, 13-11. Eagles trying to overcome their second 2-0 deficit of the day. Daytona State gave Miami-Dade all they wanted in the semifinals. And Polk State trying to overcome the Falcons and set up a match of the Suncoast runners-up against the Mid-Florida champions in tomorrow's consolation round. If Daytona State can rally to advance, it's an all-Mid-Florida showdown, and the Mid-Florida Conference will be assured of 2 representatives in the national tournament. And, of course, the honor of a state championship on the line tomorrow when Santa Fe takes on Miami-Dade. Teams back on the floor. Garcia serving. There's the high feed. Sends it across. Bumped up. Totke with the attack. It is pushed across. Nice defense by the libero Santana. She goes tumbling, but she preserves a chance for the Eagles. Attack from the other side by Rogers is long. It sets up set point and match point for Polk State. Garcia trying to cap off another spectacular comeback for the Eagles. Here is the serve. Played toward the net. Set up the attack off the Eagles. It is kept alive. Push to this side. Here is Yuwu, and she brings it to an end. The Eagles rally from down 2 sets to none. A 15-11 set 5 victory. The Eagles of Polk State advance to the consolation finals against Central Florida tomorrow. In 5 sets, Daytona State taking set 1, 25-18. Daytona State in a classic set 2, 30-28. Polk State 25-23 in set 3. Polk State 25-22 in set 4. And in a thrilling 5th and final set, the Polk State College Eagles 15-11. And they celebrate here at the Bradenton Area Convention Center the end of a long day and a thrilling day of FCSAA volleyball. 2 games to be played tomorrow for the state championship. Santa Fe will be taking on Miami-Dade. And for a spot in the national tournament, Polk State will face Central Florida. I'm Nate March. Thanks to Tom Hubbard, Kirsten Karbach, our camera crew, the athletic staff here at the Convention Center, and everyone else involved in this fantastic event. Thank you for tuning in to the FCSAA tournament. Have a good night.